everyone. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Did you presentation that I posted on BC? If not,
Wait lang, sorry ha. Wala kang pinang-marks sa kanila. Wala kang collect ng marks sa kanila.
Okay na po. Mamaya pa po. I have one.
Alright, sige. It's best. Ito ha, pag nagpa-homework kayo sa kanila, ang unang gawin nyo, collect ang homework. Kasi ayokong may nagsusulat habang nagdi-discuss. So it should be in four. Alright, again.
so my topic is advantages and disadvantages of MCQ. So let's recall first. Who can tell me what MCQ stands for? Okay, so according to Macmillan, MCQ is a structured assessment tool that asks students to select the best answer in several options. So when we say structured assessment tool, what does it mean? Why structured to what? Any idea? If wala, then I call random number. Why I take naman so Why structured? When we say structured assessment tool, what does it mean? Bakit structured to what?
Saan siya align?
Challenge. Okay, correct. Challenge student in recognizing patterns, applying knowledge, and sometimes in analyzing scenarios. So I mentioned in my presentation in the video that when we're going to make questions, it should include the three main components. So what are those components? Okay, the STEM, the P, and the structure. Now, who can explain what is P? Any thoughts lang? What is, I STEM first. What is STEM? Okay,
Ang daming ideas.
Kelly.
The STEM stands for the question or problem.
Okay, it is the heart of the question, and it should present a clear problem, a clear question or scenario that students must respond to. What about the key? Kung may question, dapat may answer. Okay, the key is the correct or the best answer, and it should reflect accurate knowledge or logical reasoning. And take note that it should align in our intended learning objectives. And what about the distractor? Ano ang posisyon ng distractor sa MCQ? Okay, it's the incorrect but plausible answer. So a good distractor should reflect students' misconception or errors. If the students pick them, it gives insight into gaps in understandings. Gets ya?
Yeah.
Ito mga distractor na ito yung hadlang sa kaisipan natin during taking test. Bakit? 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 Dahil inaakit nila tayo, kaya sila ang kaliwa pipili natin.
Tumigil!
Now, let's go to the advantages of MCQ. So, here are the advantages of MCQ. First is efficient and easy to score and grade. That's his self-explanation naman. Mas madali na ngayon dahil meron na yung scanner, diba? Isang click mo lang, kita mo na ang score. Dito sa scoring is objective. Why objective? Okay, yes, Kelly.
Same person.
Okay, anyway, number 5. Sino ang number 5 sa list? Yung last list.
H.
Di ba ang binasa yung number 4 kanina?
Ay, si Ross na.
Wala siya.
Sino ang next kay ako? Sino ang next kay ako? Jerry Vida. When you say scoring is objective, what does objective mean?
about for meron siyang specific.
Okay, correct. So, dito, since, may specific, okay, since answers are predetermined, this scoring is not influenced by teacher bias or interpretation. So, every student evaluate using the same standard. Unlike sa essay, di ba, na kailangan mo talagang busisiin yung or basahin yung thoughts ng mga students and yung pag-score is iba-iba. Gets niya? Yeah. Okay. Give students practice for standardized tests. Okay. Saan natin common ginagamit ang MCQ?
Sa Manila.
Sa exams, quizzes, and standardized tests. Board exam. The NAT. Okay. So, advantage yun siya. Can assess a variety of learning. Dito, if we crafted well our MCQ, we can assess how well students apply their knowledge, analyze scenarios, evaluate, and even evaluate level of thinking from Bloom's taxonomy. So, like for example, by presenting a case or scenario in a question should ask students to apply a concept rather than just defining it. Diba? So, dito, to provide wide content sampling and coverage. Ano yan? Sino may idea? Okay, ito na lang. Can anyone give me concept in science that would be best assessed using a multiple choice question? Concept. O biology. Like sa ano? Anong topic? Specific topic.
Blood cells and animals.
Okay, sa cells. Diba, if you have a 20-item multiple choice question, makakover na from cells to genetics. Dahil ang mga subtopics ay pwede mo na siya ma-insert. Unlike sa essays, it can touch only one or two ideas. Next, can provide diagnostic information about student misunderstanding. May question ako dito. How might MCQs help teachers diagnose student misunderstanding? Again, how might MCQs help teachers diagnose student misunderstandings? Think. Okay. Ganyan, Tia. Yes, Ms. Juan.
Example is yung pagsagot natin ng exam or quizzes sa GT. Then, diretso na makita yung answer ng a certain students. Yung answer nila is C, pero yung correct answer is D kasi yung C na yun is meron doon misinterpreted or misconception ng answer. So, makikita mo diretso kung ilang students or kung sino yung mga students na in-answer yun at mag-wait mo ma-administer yung misunderstanding.
So, ito yung like for example, manonotice ng teacher, bakit halos lahat ng students ay mali sa ganitong item. So, it gives insight to teacher to teach the concept what it needs to be teach. Okay. So any question dito sa advantages? Okay. Meron ba kayong idea kung or maidagdag sa mga advantages using MCQs?
Wala na.
Sure na.
Ala.
Then, so, if you were to design the MCQ test, how will you ensure that your distractors are effective? If you're going to design an MCQ test, how will you ensure that your distractors are effective? Yes, Ms. Horace? Yes, it should be close enough to the correct answer.
Wow.
Before I
Subjective.
Subjective. Bakit mo sabing subjective? Dito objective. Bakit disadvantages ang subjective?
Kabaliktaran niya. Kabaliktaran niya actually.
Ano kabaliktaran? Please elaborate.
Disadvantages.
Disadvantage tayo. Before I present that.
Parang mali ata.
Kasi you can give to familiarize.
Hindi siya subjective. Hindi siya subjective.
Okay, any idea?
Sorry.
Okay, yes, Miss Bacolod.
For me, it is time consuming kasi mas marami pang babasahin.
Okay, so my point.
Yes.
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 Familiarize.
So let's see if your answers are clear. Ara?
Yes.
First, dito sa time consuming to write and difficult to write good items. Pag-isahin natin sila. Bakit sa tingin nyo mahirap to? Bakit disadvantage ito?
Kasi sa mga
Yes, Mr. You have an idea, Mr. Ardilia?
So it needs to be perfected talaga para ma-understand ng students yung question at also choices.
So, are you saying that if your goal is to assess higher order thinking of students? Okay. So, if it is time-consuming and difficult to write good items, if your goal is to assess higher order thinking of students, magde-demand talaga yan ng deep content, knowledge, and of course, sa pagsulat, in skills in writing the items. It may take longer talaga than preparing for a essay question. Agree? Mas mahirap. Okay. Next is provides limited feedback to students. Dito, unlike sa open-ended question, dito, the teacher will not, unlike sa open-ended question, dito they don't reveal why student chooses the wrong answer. Makikita lang ng teacher na, mali yung ano, pero hindi niya alam, bakit ganito yung napiling sagot, bakit mali, ganyan, bakit mali yung napiling sagot ng students, walang explanation, limited feedback. Plans to focus on lower level cognitive skill. Itong number 4 na ito, in contrast ito siya dito sa advantages na can assess a variety of learning, which is true naman if you truly construct or define your MCQs. Pero what if not? What if hindi mo talaga construct yung yung question mo? Ano mangyayari? Can assess dito siya, in contrast ito siya sa can assess a variety of learning, which is true naman if you truly design or construct your MCQs. Pero what if not? If hindi mo siya na-construct ng maayos yung question mo, ano mangyayari sa question mo? Lower. Okay.
So if ever like yung hindi mo talaga i-construct yung items na gawin mo, so lower level cognitive skills na yung measurements and students mo. So parang wala yung higher level thinking skills ng estudyante, parang pumunta yung question.
So are you saying that it tends only to focus on basic understanding?
Yes, like for example, recall, hindi siya nag-analyze, wala siya, hindi mo pinali kung paano gawin yung, hindi mo siya i-apply sa real-life.
Okay, that's correct. Dito na tayo sa influence by reading, ability, and test wiseness. Ito yung sometimes naiisip kayo na isang araw naman kami magkasama nito, hindi siya umawak ng notebook niya, hindi ko siya nakita ng basa, pero bakit siya nakapasa ako hindi? Meron kayong ganyang thoughts minsan? It is because that student is test-wise. He or she know the common test strategies like eliminating the obvious distractors. Diba? Like for example, this content or this material is not familiar to the student. So, X na yan. So, by eliminating obvious get the correct answer without fully understand what the concept is. So, unable to measure some types of targets. Yan yung sinasabi ko nga talagang pag-isipan mo yung questions mo. Talagang, later, madidiscuss yung guidelines how to make multiple choice questions. So, encouraging guessing. Bahala na multiple choice item ng tao. It encourages guessing, especially for those students who are unsure. Diba? Yung bingot-bingot na sila. So they will get the answer correctly by chance. So any question? Na-understand nyo? Yes. Okay, I have a question. Are MCQs always fair to all types of learners?
No!
Why? Okay, so the first one mag-no si Kelly. Why? Okay, stand up. Why or why not?
Fairness. Fair siya. Hindi. At some point, kasi ba't ko siya nasabi ng fair kasi the answer is, no. Yes, no. Pwede. Pwede siyang no, pwede siyang yes. Kasi yung sinabi kong no, ay yes, kasi objectives niya lang yung sagot niya. Like, isa lang yung sagot niya. Pero sa side ng student is they can't really express what they're truly learning. Ano talaga yung na-learn nila dun sa
Yung iba is mas gusto nila na magpili-pili lang mag-select lang ng answer. Yung iba naman is gusto nila na ma-express yung thoughts nila. Like sa essay, mag-sulat-sulat sa debate, ganyan. Okay. Anyone? Sino pa? Wala na? Take a number.
3 ay 4.
4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Delphine. Our MCQ is always fair to all types of learners. Why or why not? Okay. I think she is fair. Why fair? I don't know. Since if the student, since it is multiple choice question, so the student might study their lesson so ahead of time. So there is no way na hindi fair yung types in that sense. Since yung MCQ is measures the validity and the okay. And do you have any idea, Mr. Galnao?
I think for me, MCQs is unfair because
Unfair?
Yeah.
So not all. Okay, why?
because it's the paper sa theory ng multiple intelligence because some students are slave in some field like writing. So pag multiple intelligence kasi mas na-focus sa advantages. So pag yung iba na student is mas nag-slay sila or mas angat sila sa essay or ma-express nila yung essay. So mas mako-construct nila yung idea nila through essay. So
Different types of learning styles. So let's conclude my report. Thank you.
Summary.
To sum it up, when we're going to write a multiple choice question, we need to know the advantages and disadvantages of it, and we should write a well-written structure. Hindi lang tayo magpagdalos-dalos ng question. Okay? Okay. And next is we're going to discuss the guidelines on how to write.
Alright, sige. I just want to reiterate some points. Ask some questions. Kasi kanina medyo naguluhan ako doon sa subjectivity is a disadvantage of multiple choice? Is it?
Ibawin niya, mami.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So, hindi siya disadvantage kasi hindi naman talaga subjective ang multiple choice. Right? So, clear lang yun na objective siya. So, doon kanina, hindi ko kasi nag-gets yung, hindi ko masyadong nasundan yung sabi ni Joshua kanina. Ano yung mga sagot ninyo doon sa always fair ba? Ang multiple choice?
Not all daw, ma'am.
Not all.
Not at all times.
Yeah.
Why? Ano yung explanation? Different learning styles. Parang hindi yata siya acceptable na sagot sa learning style. It's not about learning style. Diba, fairness has something to do, okay, sa kabilang section pala ito. Kasi dun sa kabilang section na raise nila yung ang multiple choice ay iba naman na fairness ito. Like, ang sabi nila, unfair daw sa mga students na hate ang math, yung math portion ng USMCE. So, I think medyo related siya dun sa sinasabi ninyo na hindi fair sa iba ang learning style, ang multiple choice. Why is it not an issue of fairness? Okay? Pag sinabi natin fairness, ay doon tayo sa natutunan ba nila o hindi kasi. Alright? Kahit ito ang mathematics, kung naituro yan sa'yo, hindi unfair sa'yo na tatanungin ka ng tungkol sa math problems. Kahit iba ang learning style mo, hindi unfair sa'yo kung bigyan ka ng multiple choice. Kung naituro naman yung topic at saka align yung assessment method doon sa objective. Hindi siya unfair. So it's not about learning styles. Okay? So what is it about? Unfair dun sa ganito ha, kapag poorly constructed ang multiple choice items ninyo, unfair siya sa nag-aral. Bakit? Pwede mo siyang masagot kahit hindi ka nag-aral. Diba? Sabi natin kanina, kung test-wise lang ang isang estudyante, may clue dyan, hindi na ang sagot, pinakamahabang option, di ba? Minsan, pag hindi natin alam, piliin natin yung pinakamahabang option. Kung hindi kaya yung parang pinaka-nice sounding na option. Kung hindi kaya yung may clue sa STEM. So, magiging unfair ang multiple choice kapag poorly written. Pwede siyang masagot ng kahit na hindi ka nag-aral. So, doon tayo, yun yung dapat explanation natin sa fairness. Okay? Unfair din siya kapag kailan ba magiging unfair ang multiple choice. Unfair kapag naglagay ka ng item na hindi naman nila natutunan. Kahit na anong assessment method pa yan, multiple choice o ano man. Kung well-written, ang multiple choice, pero yung item ay hindi nag-align doon sa objective, magkakaroon din ng unfairness dyan. Hindi aligned sa objective. Like, nag-aral ka ng application analysis, tapos puro knowledge pala na hindi ka naman nag-memorize ng mabuti. So, unfair yun sa mga nag-aral yung kung ano yung sinabi ng teacher na objectives. Okay? So, I hope clear sa atin yung tungkol sa unfairness ha. Kanina tinanong sa inyo, ano ang role ng misconception sa disruptor? Yun ba yun? Yung question? Role ba yung
Teacher, ma'am. Kung how might MCQs help students diagnose student misunderstanding?
Okay. How might MCQs help teachers diagnose? My question related to that is, how i-discuss mo ang plausibility?
Opo, ma'am.
I-discuss ang plausibility.
Ay.
Like, ano ang
Yes, ma'am. Kasali po.
steps or anong gagawin ng teacher to ensure that
The distractors are possible yet wrong.
okay, sige, so hindi na lang muna ako mag-comment ako sa plausibility, although medyo na-discuss yan, i-elaborate yung tungkol sa plausibility, ha? Pero, kailan, like, how should the teacher decide? Or, kasi sa item construction ito, no? Item construction. How should the teacher decide or when can the teacher say na itong item na ito ay possible misconception? Hindi na ba ang marami yata? Ano yung makakatulong sa teacher na mag-decide na gawin ko itong distractor na ito kasi tingin ko misconception nila. Sige, Raquel.
I think during discussion naman kung ano yung parang hindi ma-grasp ng student kung ano yung concept ng
Okay.
pwede kami sa
Yes, that's right. During discussions, actually, the teacher can observe, students seem to have a misunderstanding related. So, ituturo na niya. Pero, ilalagay pa rin niya as a distractor to check if natutunan ba talaga, na-change ba talaga ang misconception. So, that's one way, although ituturo pa sa atin ni Sir Cyril mamaya, ano-ano pa yung ibang panggagalingan ng good distractors natin. So, one way or one strategy of the teacher is to observe ano ba yung mga kulang sa understanding during the discussions, mali sa understanding during the discussions, at maaaring ibigay yan ng teacher, ilagay yan as a distractor. That would be an effective distractor. Ang sabi lang kasi kanina yung malapit sa answer, diba? Pero medyo questionable yung sagot na malapit sa answer. I-discuss na lang natin yan mamaya. Tingnan muna natin ano ang mali-discuss today. Alright? Sige, let's continue.